garden is a sort of yard, so it's not very big, and it's split on 2 levels with a sort of shady section around a patio with a raised bed and some bleached hornbeam trees that form a hedge on stilts. And then there's a raised deck which is a bit more sunnier with things in pots, but it's a very small garden. When we first moved in, the garden was literally just a concrete square with some cracks in it with brambles coming through it, and it had a self-seeded sycamore tree. So I spent the first couple of years digging up concrete and cutting down this massive tree which was about to take over the back wall if I'd left it there. My earliest gardening memory is my nan's garden, which was a really long, thin sort of traditional garden with a lawn, a path down the middle and a planted bed on one side full of roses, but it also had snapdragons, and I remember used to have to snapping the dragons to make them pop, but at the bottom was a derelict glass house which was sort of overgrown. Next to it was a massive rhubarb pot plant which seemed massive at the time, and we used to take stems of rhubarb and get a bowl of sugar and dip them in sugar and eat them, so the bitterness of the rhubarb and the sweetness of the sugar. The biggest challenge I had with my garden was deciding how to make quite an awkward space work. The garden is actually lower than the house, so you didn't used to walk out straight into the garden. You used to have to go down some narrow steps, and so I had to work out a way that sort of connected the garden to the house, and then think about how to grow plants in what was quite a northerly, shady garden. I would definitely recommend someone with a small garden to try and fit in a tree. There's lots of different ones you can get. There's small dwarf varieties like acers or crabapple trees, or if you've got more room you can get a fruit tree or a larger tree. They are just all year round interest. You get the blossom in the spring, you get fruits and berries in the summer, and in the autumn you got autumn leaves, and depending on what tree you've got a really nice shape in the winter, so they're definitely worth the money. So if you can fit one in, get a tree.